I can't believe it that yesterday I uploaded a video about the 9 things that I'm working on my website to try to recover my traffic that I lost from the HCU. And as soon as I went to bed, my head hit the pillow and I went, oh no, that was supposed to be 11 things, not 9 things. I was 2 things short. Story of my life. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So I want to talk about those 2 things with you. They're actually 2 of my favorite things. Watch this video, go back, and then after that, watch the other 9 things because there's some really good stuff in there too, some really cool tidbits. But let me just jump into these 2 extra things here. I think you're really going to love the first one. In all of the conversations that I've been having with ChatGPT about how do I make my website better, I'm giving it a bunch of data to analyze. I am running online tests and then taking those results and then asking Chat, how do I fix these things? It keeps talking about schema. And so I finally got to the point where I was like, how does Google see my articles? How does it perceive the schema on my articles? And is it what Google actually wants? So I asked Chat, how do I determine this? How do I determine how I am being seen in the eyes of Google in regards to schema? And it said, go to the rich results test, which I had never heard of. It turns out it's totally awesome. So all you got to do is you put a URL here, and then it'll do a scan. It looks a lot like the GSC return. But here's what I want to show you. In the detected structure data, you can see I have 3 things on this article. Articles, which is the schema type that I have for this article, right? And a couple of other things. But what I'm going to ask you is to suspend belief for a few minutes and pretend like these are not on this list. Because whenever I first ran this test, those were not on this list. And that's the main point of this video. So for now, let's just say it only says articles. So then I said, okay, articles, that's what I do have set. But then I asked another question. The websites that are beating me for this particular article, are those also articles? Are those also set as scheme articles? So what I did is I went over to the search results, started grabbing these. As you can see, they're all purple. I clicked on all of them. Clicked the URL, copied it, and I brought everything over here. I want to know, are those also going to say articles, right? So I started pumping them in there one at a time. Actually, let me go to, let's see here, this one. Go backwards here. So I started putting these articles in there, and I'm thinking, man, as long as mine says articles and theirs says articles, I'm good. That means my schema is squared up. Something started to happen, though, as soon as I started getting these results back. Yeah, they all say articles. Perfect. That means I'm at least in the ballpark, but they all said breadcrumbs, and they all said site links search box. Nothing of mine said breadcrumbs or site links search box. But this was just the first one. I thought, well, that's different. Let me try another one. So then I go to another website. I'm going to try this. Actually, I already got the results here. You can see here, oh no, breadcrumbs and site link search box. I think 9 out of the 10 had both of those in addition to articles. They also had sometimes, every once in a while, an extra thing. But I knew if 90% of those ranking articles had both of those, 0% of my articles had those, I had a problem. And if I wanted to play with the big boys, if I wanted to be where they were at and be seen as they were seen, I needed to be wearing the clothes that they were wearing. So I went over to ChatGPT and I was just like, hey, here's a problem. How do I fix this? We back and forth for a while. You'll see now here on my website, on all my articles, I got the breadcrumbs, which I didn't even think of before. Figured out the breadcrumbs. I figured out the site links search box, so I got those things squared away. And now what you can see here is whenever we look at my website and the results from my website, you can see I now have all 3 of those things. That was a big revelation to me because I do feel like that a lot of my content is better in the realm of expertise. You know, if I have an article about Planet Fitness, which I am at 5 days a week, I know a lot about Planet Fitness, but other articles are ranking me. But to be honest, if my content is better on page, but if Google is seeing my structured data as lacking and compared to other articles, that's a big time problem. So we got that fixed. So that's my first tip. Go to the rich results. I'll put a link in the description down below. Enter your article, pick one, and then take some of the competitors that are ranking in front of you and make sure that you have what they've got also. If not, you've got a little bit of work to do. Let's move on to the second point. Also, something kind of funny that happened yesterday. Whenever I uploaded that video and then I watched it today, I realized that I had messed up my navigation, my main nav. And so I'm watching that video today and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just posted a video with a crap nav. So I had to fix that today. So just side note. The second tip for this is I added in social sharing icons here because I just want Google to know, like, hey, I want to talk about this. I'm here as a resource. I think my stuff is good enough for other people to share. Will they actually do it? Who knows? To be honest, I mean, I'd like them to, but I don't care. I'm trying to send out the signal right now. That's my whole purpose. I don't think that by throwing this up here, people are going to start going ham on my article and sharing it like crazy. I'd like them to eventually because I'd like my traffic to come back. But for now, this to me is a signal to Google of like, hey, like I want to chat. I want to participate. I want to converse. I want to communicate. I'm here to be at the service of the king or whatever you say. So to me, this was very easy to do. This was actually a WordPress plugin called Simple Sassy Search or something like that. It was Simple Sassy something. I added this in. I went in and did a speed test. It didn't affect anything whatsoever. It was incredibly lightweight. It didn't slow anything down. So that was the second thing that I did, was add that in. But that first one, this one I think is going to be important, sort of in the grand scheme of things. But that first one with the rich results thing, that to me, for me, I felt like that was a big deal. And one of the first things I could truly point at and go, I am falling way short on some aspects of this. So hopefully that tip is helpful for you guys. I'm going to end this video because my throat hurts. I'm going to take a couple of days off and I'll come back and do another one unless there's another update that gets rolled out, which at this point, F it, why not? We'll see you all in a couple days. Thanks for watching. Peace out.